Hello, guys. Once again, welcome back to PPC Roundtable. As promised, me and Sadeep ji joined back again to show you, as promised in the last PPC Roundtable episode, that we are going to cover DSP. Unlike any other video, this episode is going to be more data driven, showing you practically what you have to do, what have been working for us, and what had worked in previous days. So, we are going to share everything with you. Hi, Sandeep ji. Welcome back again.
Hi, Zami. Thank you. It's exciting to be back again.
So, for the audience, I think we can start with explaining what is DSP first, and then we can go a little bit deeper into the data and the creatives, ads, all those.
Sure. Um, I think DSP is a programmatic solution that Amazon offers, which is similar to um, for people who are onto D2C running meta ads. So somebody coming from that background is going to find it much relevant than somebody from a just Amazon background. For example, I have had the Amazon background where it was mainly the search, the lower funnel that typically is being targeted. However, on Meta, it is across the funnel that we go, where interest-based audiences typically we go after, and not the keyword-driven searches-based or targeting that we do. So DSP is a programmatic solution similar to that, which stands for demand-side platform, where we can reach our shoppers, our audiences on and off Amazon. If they are on Amazon, I can show and serve my ads to them. And if they, let's say, in 24 hours, they spend just 5-10 minutes on Amazon, and then they spend 30 minutes on, let's say, a news website reading about it. Maybe in total, 5 seconds on a Truecaller now and here and there, and in collectively on Truecaller, for whatever reason, they have spent, let's say, 2 minutes. So they might have gone to IMDb as a website, which is Amazon own website, to check about movies, rating or stuff like that. So DSP is a solution which will help us to track our shoppers based on their interest, based on their location, based on their certain behaviors, based on if they are in market to purchase something. And the best part is it is based on the actual data. So it is the actual audience. We are not looking for a lookalike audience, which typically happens in Meta, where we create audiences based on the interest, and then we target them. So on Amazon, we could have the real data of real audiences where we can reach out to them and also create lookalike. So that is pretty much what Amazon DSP is.
Great. So, what we can do now is we can basically go over the screen and try to see and find such type of ads if we can see, and where all the placements can Amazon provide to us. Also, DST can be also a solution for those brands who are at a certain stage of market share right now in Amazon, and they are feeling that they are at a cap of market share and unable to expand beyond that. There might be a point where they can assume that, okay, now it is a time for us to expand our TAM by focusing in DSP, where it basically opens a lot more audiences for you. Not only for our brands who are already established, also there are a lot of types of targetings which can focus on brands at different stages, which we can deep dive into later stage of this video.
So before I share the screen and take you through the DSP, one thing that I'd like to highlight is that typically for a DSP to work effectively, we create the funnel stages where we have these stages like awareness, and then consideration, then purchase or conversion, or and towards the end we have a loyalty. So typically we divide the customer journey in 4 stages, and based on these 4 stages we decide to create campaigns. For example, if the objective of a brand is to is new in market and is trying to reach to as many as people, then it is the awareness campaigns that we are going to run for it. On the contrary, if the brand is trying to get some sales, want to improve their conversion or get more sales, and they are unable to do it through the typical sponsored ads that they are doing or exploring, then the conversion campaigns are run. So that is important, that we have to have a clarity in terms of what is the objective that we have, or what is the problem that we have, and if DSP can be a solution to that problem. And that is what we have done. Whenever we have run DSP, we have tried to categorize them based on the stages of a for a customer audience stage, and accordingly we have run. And it is a very wonderful tool to have a full funnel approach, where we could do from awareness, which is the discovery, till loyalty, which is getting purchases done from existing customers. So we could use it anywhere in the funnel. So with that, I'll jump onto the screen. So what you see, we have let me zoom it. So what you see is at an advertiser level, the dashboard that we have for the DSP, where whatever campaigns we have run for the advertiser are going to be visible. So the structure that we have in a DSP, if I have to cover it in a brief, at the top, order is like a campaign. So we have an order which is at the top, and then the order will have a line item which is visible here, which is like an ad group if you come from a sponsored ads background. So you can consider order as a campaign, line item as a ad group, and then we have a creative as a next level of layer in it. And then we have audiences, where we identify the audiences that we have. So typically these are the four level we can see while we set up a campaign, where order is a campaign, line item is an ad group, creative is a normal creative, and audience is the type of audience that we want to target. And there are other tabs here as well, but they are a bit advanced. We can look at them maybe in future sessions. But for now, what we have is the order. So basically, we are on a campaign level stage. So if I see, I have bunch of campaigns that have been run so far, and they are classified based on the stages that they are in. For example, I might have a awareness level campaign, so that will be a separate campaign. Consideration will be a separate campaign. So that is how we'll have it. Let me open one campaign to show you what we have in that campaign. And like a typical campaign manager, we have other start and end date and budget and other KPIs, impressions or goals, viewable impressions, whatever KPIs that we typically have, we have it here as well. So jumping onto a campaign, so this is a campaign that we have for an awareness stage. Now for awareness, we have classified our campaign at a line item level at 3 different stages based on the inventory that we have. So typically there are 3 inventories that we get on Amazon. One is Amazon O&O, owned and operated. The other is APD, Amazon Publisher Direct. And then the third is 3P, which is third party. So we classify our campaigns. We could have one, ad group or line item, or we could classify them based on inventory and further classify them based on the audiences we are going to target. For example, I might have 2 O&O line items in an order. If I have 2 different set of audiences that I want to go after. So it all depends on the structure. You might have just one order, one line item for all the audiences. So it's the individual choices that you might have. So here we have 3 different line items where we have classified them based on the the inventory that we have. So if I open any one of them, and before we jump onto the line item, at a campaign level or at a order level, we have order settings as well, where there are certain important values that we set. So the important is the name of the order, then the type of the campaign that I want this to be. Normal creative is a display, image based, video, streaming TV, and audio. So these are the 4 type of campaigns that we can run. Online video is a video ad, streaming TV is the OTT platform that we have, and audio is a audio ad on a podcast or other streaming platforms. So those are that. This particular order is for a display. Then we have a goal that we define. So we have different goals. So since this campaign is for awareness, so we have that as a goal, as an awareness. And in awareness, reach is our KPI. Reach means the more people we want to, unique people we want to reach to. So based on that, we have certain other factors here, in which mainly we have a campaign level budget. So we decide a budget with a start date and end date that we want to give. And there are other few things here as well, where product is selected based on that product, Amazon will run our campaign. And we have a frequency where we can decide how many times I want to show my ad in a day to the same audience. For example, a shopper, if I select the frequency as 2 times in a day, then maximum 2 times my ad will be served to the same shopper. Since it is an awareness campaign, we might want to show it more than once, maybe 2 to 3 times, um, to the same shopper, so that they are able to recall our brand. And this is only the reach. The KPI here is impressions. The KPI here is maybe the DPVs that we have, but then the objective is to reach maximum. So that is the order settings that we have. And then we have a line item. Now, in line item, what we have is the name of the line item, and then the media, in terms of where we want to show our ad, whether we want it only desktop or mobile or web app, or just the mobile app that Amazon has. We select the category for which we want to run this line item for, so that Amazon can identify the audiences. And then we have the inventory. In inventory, we have Amazon O&O, Amazon Publisher Direct, and third party. Since this line item we have created for a third party, so APD and O&O is none. And third party, we have all the websites, all the exchanges that will help us get placement on all the various websites. So third party exchanges.
So
are
inventory is basically where the ads are going to be shown, right?
Yeah, so inventory is basically where our ad will be served, which is not the direct website. It is basically the exchanges which have the websites under them. So, for example, we have Google Ad Exchange. So all the websites that have partnered with Google, which will allow where Google is a SSP for them. So we can use Google as a platform and then serve our ads on those websites through Google. So that is what we can say. All the exchanges are third party in inventory. And then when we scroll further, what we have is the audiences. So we can select the audiences that we want to reach out to. It could be a in-market audience, or it can be a lifestyle audience, or it can be a those who have viewed our product page or viewed our competitors' product page. All of those audiences we can set up here. And then the other thing is viewability. On Amazon DSP, viewability is very important factor which we should be considerate of, which simply means the number of impressions that are served, how many percentage of them I want them to be in like top of search kind of a thing that we have on search. So that, for example, here the 70% is the viewability target that we have set. So all the impressions will be towards the upside, on the top of those websites instead of somewhere at the bottom. It will going to be a bit premium as compared to similar to search, where we have a premium placements, but we want our ads to be shown to a shopper instead of having an impression somewhere down bottom where the shopper might not scroll down. So that is why we set a viewability target. And then the other thing that we have is here is the pacing of the campaign budget, that how do we want to pace this, that we can set based on our own objective. And then finally we have bidding. In bidding, we give a base bid that we want to give, and then we decide the maximum CPM. It can be an automatic, or we can have. So CPM is cost per mile, where for every 1000 impressions Amazon is going to charge us. So that is what basically means CPM, which we have seen in search ads similar to VCPM. So that is what CPM we have here, which is based on 1000 impressions. So that is line item. So we have covered ordered, we have covered line item, audiences we have looked at. Then we have creatives. So if I click on creatives, so it will show me this brand's particular creatives that we have used. So all different creatives that we have created, we'll have them here. For example, one creative we have created here, and the other creative. So one is a standard creative that we have, and the other is a REC creative, which is responsive e-commerce creative. Responsive e-commerce creative is something which mimics the actual product actual placement, which gives an impression that it is an actual Amazon ad. So mostly common use creative is REC. Also, REC is a very common creative used in Amazon DSP, where add to cart, review rating, a discount, all of those things are visible, which are off Amazon as well. So possibly it is on some Truecaller or an marketing website where, as a customer, as a shopper, I'll be more comfortable clicking on because I trust Amazon more. So REC is somewhat of a that which gives that comfort. And then we have a standard display creative also, which is a normal creative, where we have a custom creative, which is with the product in a lifestyle setting, maybe with a model. So that is the other creative that we have. So typically these two kind of, and majorly the REC rec creative is used more in terms of creative. Amazon has launched a few more creatives. We have GIF that we can use. We have a video that can be used. We also have a price aware image PAI that can be used. But mostly REC is used, or a standard display. These two are a major common. So in this line item, we have used these two creatives. So that is the structure that we have, which is pretty similar to sponsored ads structure.
Can you explain the hierarchy on this, like order items and line items, how it goes actually? Because we are familiar with all the audience that are watching. Because if you can also give a perspective of who can access DSP right now, because I think there are some, limitation on who can access DSP as well.
Right. So DSP as of now is can be accessed either through Amazon or through a partner agency, a verified agency like Regrow Media. That are the only two available options. With Amazon, typically there is a minimum commitment, which is kind of a 3 to 5 lakhs a month. Whereas if you do it through a partner agency like Regrow Media, you might have a lower limit in terms of commitment. Uh, um, the commitment is basically there. Even Amazon enforces it because to complete the to complete the loop from awareness to consideration to purchase to loyalty, it takes time. And for that, we need a certain amount as well to show our ad to. Typically the CPMs are like somewhere like 50 to 100 to 200 to 250 depending on category to category, and we need millions of impressions. And for that, if CPM is roughly, let's say 200 for a category, then you can do the math that we need significant money to reach to those 1 million 10 million audiences, and then push them down the funnel, do the consideration and retargeting with them, and then eventually get the conversion. So it needs some sort of a capital, and Amazon is moving towards a full funnel approach more. This year we have seen already, in the coming year in 2026, now we can see even further. Amazon also plan to unify both the dashboards. So currently the search is a different dashboard and DSP is a different dashboard. They are going to be a single dashboard, maybe next few months we'll see. And we never know, Amazon might give it to brands as well, DSP to run, which is a thing to look for. However, so in terms of brands who should be running DSP, I think any brand can run DSP, as long as they are aware of the problem statement that they have, and if DSP can solve that problem statement. For example, a brand who's, let's say, has spent 10 lakhs a month on Amazon ads in terms of sponsored ads, and when they increase their spends to from 10 to 15, their total sales did not increase much. With 10 lakhs they were doing 1 crore monthly sales. With 15 lakhs of spend, their total sales is, let's say, from 1 to 1.1 crore or 1.05 crore. So they don't see any significant increase after even increasing their spends. I think that is the time to realize that sponsored ads have had their ceiling. Maybe we need to look at now DSP as a solution, so that we can send more audiences down the funnel. The reason for a brand to not grow after a certain age, a certain stage is their conversion, their purchase audience pool is almost exhausted, and it is like fixed. They are not able to improve it further, and the only way to increase it by sending people down the funnel from consideration to purchase. And to do that, sponsored ads are not a very good solution. I think DSP is meant for that. So for a brand like that, or maybe a brand which is launching new product and they want to go aggressive, DSP is something for a new launch, for a new brand, a very good solution to reach to those shoppers which they otherwise will take 6 months or a year to reach. So with DSP, they can fast forward that. So it depends on brand, what stage they're at, and what is the problem statement they have, and based on that, if DSP can solve it, they can consider DSP.
So let's try to do one small exercise for the viewers, because I think viewers who are watching us, they might be at a different stage of their business right now. So let's take example of one brand. Let's take example of a skincare brand, right? And let's assume the brand is already spending 10 lakhs a month in sponsored products. So let's assume we have this 4 stages: awareness, consideration, purchase, then loyalty, right? In awareness, how would DSP complement the other ad types? What all targeting options generally works good in awareness when we combine it with sponsored products and DSP?
Yeah. So for a brand which has a repeat purchase, a DSP is a very powerful solution because we are going to reach to shoppers even when they are not in market. So DSP is going to be very powerful, especially for a repeat purchase brand. A consumable brand could be skincare, could be a baby care, could be all such different brands. Now, with the DSP as a solution across the funnel, at awareness or consideration or purchase, with sponsored ads, we'll have a limited reach. We'll be able to reach, but the solutions that are available are very limited. Amazon has launched sponsored TV recently, and sponsored TV is a very good solution with only at the awareness stage. It is not helpful. It is not going to help us if we look it from a ROAS perspective, because all the campaigns that we have run for sponsored TV, ROAS is not the metrics that we look at. The metrics that we look at is the impression. The metrics that we look at, if we are able to get more people to click to our ad. So CTR is the a good metrics to look at for a sponsored TV. Similarly, DSP, based on the stage of the funnel that we are in, we can look at the solution. So, for a skincare brand, if they want to increase their sales, let's say they are spending 10 lakhs and doing 1 crore, and they want to grow from 1 crore to 1.5 crores or to 2 crores, they want to double their sales. The logical way is to increase the audience size that are at a conversion level. And all the people selling on Amazon are competing for the same audiences. Amazon might get, let's say, assuming 1 million or 5 million or 10 million number of skincare audiences on their platform every month, and there are different bunch of brands who are serving their ads to those audiences. With DSP, we can follow them as we discussed earlier, and we can show our ads to them even while they are not on Amazon, so that when they come on Amazon next time, they have a recall where they're able to click and check us out and see if we are able to solve their problem. So I think instead of increasing the spends on sponsored ads, DSP is a very good alternative. Provided we have explored and we have seen that sponsored ads is not giving us that solution, so DSP should be looked at as an alternative where we can work on the complete funnel where we identify audiences from awareness and take them till the loyalty through conversion.
So what type of audiences have generally worked in consideration stage?
So for awareness, we have a very broad audience because we just want them to be, either based on whether they are in market or based on whether they are their lifestyle, based on their interest. So those kind of audiences that we start with typically on a awareness, which is basically to maximize our pool, maximize our reach. Once we have served our ad to awareness audiences, then the next is the consideration. So in consideration, the kind of audiences that we reach is typically we reach out to those who have seen our competitor products. So for example, I might be a competitor which is having a very limited share in the category on Amazon as a skincare brand selling, let's say, a face wash I might have just a 1% of market share, and there are other brands which have a significant market share. Somebody might have a 7%, 2%, 5%, much more than me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start serving my ad to those audiences who have viewed my competitor's product page. So I will be identifying them and expect them to click on my ad. So at a consideration stage, my KPI is a CTR and DPVR. So that is where I want them to click on my ad and improve my traffic to my product page. So for that, I look for such audiences, or I might also look for in-market audience for a very specific, let's say somebody is in beauty and then or a skincare, then in that face care. So that kind of audience also I might go after and expect them to see if they are able to click on my ad and measure my CTR and DPVR. And based on those KPIs, I decide to continue with those audience, or I drop those audience. For example, I might have gone a too broader with a certain audience where I see, okay, the CTR or DPVR is not as per benchmark. For example, anything like 0.3 to zero point 0.6 is a good CTR or a DPVR. If I'm towards the better than this, let's say I was 0.7, zero point 0.8, that means I have a very right selected audience. I must continue with those audience. But if I see a drop in CTR in terms of 0.2, zero point 0.3 or less than that, then I might need to look at my audiences and then see maybe are these the audiences that I should be going after, or refresh my audience and bring something else or where I can see better CTR or better DPR.
Got it. Now, let's talk about the next stage.
So next is conversion, where typically the KPI is ROAS, and the objective is to retarget those who have come to my product page now, who know my brand, and from a brand side, I don't think there is any reason for them to not purchase. So with that expectation, we retarget only to those who have viewed our product pages in last, let's say, 7 days. Or who have viewed my product page in last 10 days. So with DSP, we can customize, we can identify the specific days as compared to sponsored ads where, we have a fixed 7, 14, 30 days duration. In DSP, we can customize and we can have just 2 days or 3 days or whatever number we want to have while creating those audiences, and we target them and we just serve them on our ad. And typically with conversion, we like to stay on Amazon, as a inventory, the Amazon O&O, as compared to 3P, as compared to APD. For conversion stage, for a purchase stage, we typically prefer Amazon O&O. Of course, we can try based on the budget other placements as well and follow our audiences. But while they are on Amazon, they are more closer to the purchase because they have all their details already entered on Amazon in terms of their credit card and all of those things. So it's just one click away, like add to cart. As compared to if they are on, let's say, a news website, it is going to be a bit difficult for them to bring them there to their Amazon and then have them stay on Amazon. So typically for conversion, there is O&O that we go after. Based on these factors, whether they have viewed our product page, or we can also utilize AMC in DSP. So we have AMC in DSP as well, where I can create audiences based on the similar personas that we have for sponsored ads. For example, I could through DSP, I could target them based on page views. I could target them based on ATC, cart abandoners. I could target them based on NTB, high spenders. So all of those audiences can also be created, which can be helpful more at a conversion stage, similarly that we are doing in sponsored products.
And I think when you talk about loyalty, especially for repeat purchase brands, AMC opens up a lot more room for us combining it with DSP, right? Where we can create groups of audiences based on how many times they have purchased. We can get the data of which group have given us higher AOVs, which group have given higher LTVs. So all these groups we can create combining DSP with AMC and push those audiences again in DSP and retarget those, right? Is there any specific audiences that you have tried recently in especially focused on loyalty?
Yeah. I think for loyalty, what we have an option is subscribe and save. So we have that advantage as well in DSP or AMC, where we could create audience based on subscribe and save. So I could have my competitors subscribe and save audiences targeted and shown my ad to. For example, I might have a lot of other competitors who have face wash as a product that they are selling, and there are a lot of customers that they have subscribed to their products. On Amazon, we have subscribe and save, where we have seen brands having 20%, 15%, 10%, 5% kind of audiences who have subscribed to their products. So if there is a brand which is, let's say, selling 10,000 units a month and have 20% subscribe and save audiences, so we could target those 2,000 audiences who are already loyal to a competitor brand. And if they are loyal to them, and if I have advantage over my my product has some advantage over their product, I could serve them my ad. I could bring them over, and then improve my conversion as well. And from my existing purchasers, I could also push them to loyalty and show them my ad again and again, so that they buy purchase from me again. So there are a lot of things that we have in AMC and DSP for loyalty as a stage as well, where we can work one time and get that benefit as a subscribe and save shopper.
So also, guys, if you want to try DSP with us, you can reach out to us, and we'll make sure to guide you and start with us on that. Any last thoughts, Sandeep ji, before we wrap up today's episode?
Yeah, I think DSP is an interesting solution. It's just that it is hidden somewhere in Amazon uh, options that are out there, and most of the brands think it is something that they cannot approach to. I think through Regrow Media, you have that option where you can reach out to us, and we'll be able to run DSP for you. And you could run it for a month or a two, and explore. However, it might take some time to complete the funnel. However, you can still look at it and understand how DSP is able to help you based on the problem that you might have. It's if you are established in your category and you want to increase your conversion funnel, that could be one of the ways for you to do it, because we have the full funnel approach where we have AMC integrated with it. So that's like a powerful solution that we have in our hand, and the brands who try it early will be at advantage as compared to the brands who are just relying on sponsored ads. So do let us know if it is something that you'd want to take us, and we can take it ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining with us. Now, again, next week, as always, we are coming at with another episode in PPC Roundtable. So make sure you subscribe and comment down below whatever thoughts you have. Any questions, make sure you put them down in the comment section.